Hey everyone, welcome back to the Be More Marketing course. I'm Jordan, and in this episode, we're going to be diving into how to effectively engage with our Facebook users so we can push them closer towards our conversion goals. Let's get into it. When you don't know exactly what your audience wants, use your targeting to figure out where they might be on the upside staircase. And if you don't remember what this is, make sure you go back to the episode where we covered this before. Once you know where your audience awareness level is, you can figure out what is needed in your messaging to get them up the rest of the steps. The higher you start on the staircase, the more direct you can go for the sell. But also realize your audience will be smaller. The lower you start on the staircase, the more value you need to provide to move people up the staircase, but the easier it is for you to scale because you can target larger audiences. Facebook is all about community and staying in contact with those in our network, whether those people be family, friends, colleagues or acquaintances. They don't want to be constantly exposed to sales messages because, let's be honest, that's not how friends and families communicate. They like to share things which is fun, interesting and newsworthy. And your ads should be no different. Your ads should adopt the STEPPS formula. This consists of S equals social currency, T for triggers, E for emotion, P for public visibility, P for practical value, and S for stories. So the first one is social currency. People like to look cool in front of their friends, and usually they want the content they share with the world to reflect this too. If there is capacity for your content to make the person sharing look good or interesting, then the likelihood is that they'll be more open to sharing this with their network. No one wants to share content which is boring. So because of that, it is important to make sure that ads have an interesting spin on them and will not put people out of sort once they decide to promote your content. The second part of this acronym is triggers. You want your ads to reflect something which is in constant view of the user. Through this association, your content will forever be at the top of the mind of the user, and as a result, they'll most likely engage with your content more alongside sharing it. For instance, if your content surrounds cats, the likelihood is that you'll be top of the mind because people tend to bump into cats more often, which will then remind them of you because that's what your content is associated with. If, however, your content is associated with something that the user bumps into infrequently, regardless of however grand, the likelihood is that your content or brand won't come to mind that often because they're not exposed to the trigger as often. The third part of this acronym is emotions. Regardless of what people want to say, human beings are heavily driven by emotions, even more so than our rational instincts. And because of this, people engage more with content that has an emotional spin rather than content which only has cold-hearted facts and figures. This is why it's important that your content has emotions embedded in it because people will be able to relate to it more. Think about how you feel or how other people feel for that matter when they post pictures of a newborn baby or pictures of their pets. It gets emotional engagement because it hits an emotional chord. It doesn't have to be content that is happy, by the way. It could also be content that makes people angry. Whatever you decide to do, just don't be boring. The fourth part of this acronym is public visibility. Whatever your offering is, it is very important that you show that other people are doing it too. We as humans are social beings, and because of that, we tend to mimic the actions of those around us. But also we tend to use the fact that everybody else is doing it as a vote of confidence when at times we are unsure. Think about it. If you are new to an area and you want to know what restaurant serves the best food, which one will you most likely go for? The one that is empty or the one that is full? If you're like most people, the chances are is that it's going to be the restaurant that is full because you will conclude that it's busy because people like the food they serve. So make sure your ads put this across as well. The fifth part of this acronym is practical value. Have you ever heard of the term WIFM? Well, it's an acronym for what's in it for me. And that's exactly what people are thinking when they come into contact with content, especially in this day and age. The content that you craft has to showcase that there is practical benefit to the user consuming it. Otherwise, the user will sidestep it and move towards something else. Give off the impression that the user will get tremendous value from consuming your content and they will come back and share every time. The last part of this acronym is stories. We all love a good story. That is why we read books, watch films, go to the theatre, listen to music, etc. We love being sucked into stories, especially good ones. A lot of valuable information can be passed down without the user feeling that they are being sold to. If you are able to wrap up your offering in a great story alongside all the other elements we've just discussed, your content is highly likely to be a smash hit. Hey there, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions relating to what we've covered in this episode, or if you feel you need further assistance in creating a marketing campaign or developing a marketing and business strategy, then you can either message us on Instagram at BeMoreNetwork, and you can find our tag or our handle at the bottom of the screen, or you can email us on info@bemorenetwork.com, and we'll make sure to respond promptly to any requests. Cool. I look forward to hearing from you. Peace.